Hello ladies, hopping on real quick. Don't mind the hair. This is how I typically get ready. I'll flat iron all my hair, then I leave the top part last so that I can do my makeup, and then that's the very last thing that I do. But this video is going to be really quickly. You can obviously see the difference right here in the eyebrows. Not that this is bad, but this is just me having it shaped and then me enhancing it a little bit. I feel like both eyebrows and what we're going to talk about is using a bronzer, why it's so important. On my face so far, what I have is my complete face look except adding on a bronzer or doing any kind of contouring. I did highlight a little bit here on the bridge of my nose, on the chin, and a little bit up here. Everything else, that warm color, that is my natural base color. So you could do the bronzer without the highlighting. I always love to highlight because the light just makes this beautiful, like, lifted, glowy look. I feel like my light's going to continue to, like, adjust while I'm on this video. Trying to keep it, okay. And so yeah, highlighting, it draws light to those areas and making them look lifted and more brightened, youthful looking, what I feel like. It's almost like an instant, like, eye lift. Or I even highlighted a little bit under the brow and it gives you like an instant brow lift. So I'll go ahead and quickly show you guys how to use a bronzer and why I feel it's so important to use a bronzer or quote unquote contour your face. So you could use any kind of like a side angle brush. That's what I feel is best. I know we have a sculpting palette. Younique does. It looks like this little guy. Comes like this in a palette. It has this little grid on here, which is awesome because it tells you exactly where to put the bronzer color. And then it's attached to it. This brush is sold separately with it, but you see how the contour side is also angled. And it's actually slanted, so it's perfect for getting in on that cheekbone, your jawbone, and up around here on what I call the crown area. So, but I'm not going to use that today. I'm going to use just a simple bronzer. You have our beachfront bronzers come in three different colors. You have a light, medium, and dark. And you can see you have a matte side and then one that has like a highlight built into it, like a luminizer. It's not a shimmer. It's not a glitter. It's just this natural glowy color, which is really, really pretty. And I have both the light color and a dark color. Just depends on what I'm feeling that day. I'm going to go with the medium shade, which is called Hermosa. And start with that, and I'll do one side of my face so you guys can get an idea of how, basically get that side-by-side comparison of why bronzing is, like, again, so important. So I always start on the top, and you're going to bring it all on the, like, crown of your head. That's what I like to call it. And you're going to work it all the way from side to side and work it a little bit into your hairline. Because this is adding some warmth, it's a darker color, and your scalp is usually like a pale, maybe pasty white, you want to get away from showing that, you know, the white color and then this like bronzy color. And my little tip with anything with makeup, especially like foundation or eyeshadow, lipstick's different because you can always take it off and start over, but you can do that with anything, but always start off with less. And then if you need more, you can go back and add more. There's nothing like putting too much on and then you have to basically, the only option there is to take it all off and start all over, and nobody wants to do that. Okay, so basically what you're going to do is in number 3. So if you were starting from one side, you're going to go like this from the top of your ear, right on the jawbone. Don't go any past the edge of your eye, and then bring it back up and on your jawbone. Those are the 3 areas where you're going to want to put your bronzer or your contour color. And if you suck your cheeks in, you'll naturally see where the light creates that shadow, and it gives you that nice chiseled look. So just like that, and then down your jaw. You can even, if you have one of these, like a second chin, you could pack some there to kind of hide it. Okay, and then lightly blend it into your base color. And the same thing, blend it up just a little bit. That way you get rid of any like direct, straight, harsh lines. So see right there, just that little bit what that does. And then without picking up any more, or if you want to pick just a little bit extra, go in and do the side of your nose. Just like that. And then work it on the entire side of the nose. All the way from like the brow, the start of the brow, and then down. And now go ahead and do the other side so you guys can see the full effect of why doing this on your nose is like huge. It makes your nose look thinner, drawing the light just to the bridge of it. And then you could always go back if you want to add more of like a lighter color, or just leave it with your base, because this will be darker than your base. So right there is just a little bit of a bronzy look. See how this side has nothing, and over here you have that. And let's say you love to wear blush, you would just put your blush right over here and then on top, blend it into the top of it, and that's it. You could get away with wearing both of them. So I'll go ahead and finish the other side. I accidentally dropped one over here, and so I'm using like what's broken up and shattered. Okay, so same thing, go on the top of the nose, or the ear, and no further than the edge of your eye. And then I like to blend it lightly to the upper neck. That way you don't have any different colors there. You don't want it to be dark here and then like pasty white there, or whatever your base is. Blend it up just lightly. You're not putting a whole lot of force there, just to get rid of the line. You could even do a little bit under the lip if you want, because naturally the light will create a shadow under there too. But that's basically it. You do a number 3, just like that on both sides, and then blend it. Let's say you want to tone that down just a little bit. Go in with whatever your base color is for your foundation, like a pressed powder if you have that. I'll show you real quickly how to do that. The color that I'm wearing is taffeta. It's like closest to warm beige. So just pick up a little bit of your base color powder, and you can blend that line out. Or if you think you put too much of a dark color, if you need to erase or color correct, just do that. And then that's it. And then quickly, I'll go show you guys. So that was using the shade Hermosa. You can see here how I've kind of, this will last you a long time too. All of our pigments, doesn't matter if you're found like a pressed powder or your like the blushes, it comes something like this. They're super highly pigmented. I've had this for a very long time. It's gonna last you guys a long time because, like I said, it's super pigmented in the color. Okay, so eyebrows, super easy and quick. I'll show you real quick, like if you were going to have them shaped, you usually want to start from either the edge of your nose or right in that crescent right there. That's where I do mine, because if I were to use the edge of my nose, the start of my brow would be right there, and I didn't want that much space. So I did it like right in there in that crescent area and brought it straight up. So that's the starting point. And then from the edge of your nose or that crescent area, shoot right through the pupil, and that's where your arch is going to want to be. And then same thing, either on the edge or here, bring it straight out, align it with the edge of your eye, and then come straight up, and that's where it should end. So you see right there how I have to draw in that part, whereas over here, it's already been done. And what you could do, you could use either our brow pencil. I personally love this one. Number 1, it's cheaper, and number 2, I just like it. It's better control. But I will show you what the brow palette looks like. That's a good one too. When I do like a really heavy eye, like if I'm doing like a smoky makeup eye look, I will use my brow palette, because these are pigments and they're pigmented. And the brush that comes with this is the Brow Artist brush, and it is amazing. It is like super duper thin. My light's kind of messing up there. Super duper thin, so it really mimics those like hair strokes. And this is in the darkest shade. We have 3 different shades in this too. So you have a lighter color, which is what you usually want to start the front with. The darker color is going to be in the middle and the end. You could even mix a little bit of the powder pigment with a wax. The wax is also tinted, and then you have 2 different highlights. And I'll show you at the end like what highlighting your brow is all about, in case you've never seen that before or seen it done. It's super easy, and it makes a pretty big difference. I like to use the brow pencil the best, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this mirror over here, and you guys can see right to, and that's, I think it's viewing it there. Yes, it is. Okay. So what I always do first is line the bottom. And I don't draw a straight line. I do small little lines because that helps to mimic like a hair stroke. And lightly go under and just draw out that line. And I basically fill in where I don't have hair, which is a lot. And then on top of that, my eyebrow hairs are really thin, as are my eyelashes. So I have to fill in quite a bit, especially if I wear like a heavy eyeshadow look. Because if I don't, it looks like I have no eyebrows once I'm all done. Okay, so see how like I've done it so much, I'm just like, I've memorized it, but it's at that ending point. So see just what underlining it does? And then you can go and from where you've underlined, follow the position that your hair grows. Like up here, mine grow up and then it starts going slanted. So then I just lightly, real lightly, start filling in all those sparse areas, the areas that don't have any hair. Or maybe there's hair there, like with mine, but it's just not really full. Like I can literally count my hairs because that's how separated they are. There's just not a whole lot of them there. So see how it's filling it in little by little? You can see up in here where it's really sparse, but in here I've been filling it in. And then if you have any missing areas, like sometimes I'll have to draw this part a little bit on. And what I love about the brow pencil is that it's water resistant and smudge proof. So if one of my little ones gives me a hug and squeezes my face, she's not going to rub my eyebrow off. That would be bad, wouldn't it? I take my time with it because I wanted to give it like a really natural look. Sometimes I'll post some funny brow pictures later today, but you'll see some really bad brow jobs and you're like, oh my goodness. So I'm just following what is naturally there, but is just like kind of missing or not that full. And that's it. Look how easy that was. And then it's in a retractable stick. You get a ton of product. It's like really, really thin. It's a super thin pencil, which I love because, again, it helps to mimic hair strokes. And then you have the spoolie side, so if you want to blend it, you can do that real quickly. So that right there is how easy it is to use the brow pencil. It also does come, you can pick up a brow gel, which is tinted. This is in the shade dark. As you can tell, my hair is really dark, but there's a medium and a light shade, as in the gel. The gel is awesome. Like, let's say you don't need any areas where it need to be filled in, but you want to maybe tame them or hold them down, get a brow gel. The brow gel actually is infused with the same fibers that's in the 3D Fiber Lash Mascara, and it's tinted. And you take it, look how little that brush is. You take it and you just swipe it across, and it sets your brows, holding everything in place. It's amazing. So the last thing I'm going to do, I think I might have just brushed off, until your actual brow liner sets. Once it dries, then it's on there. So the last thing that I personally love to do, and this is optional, you do not have to do it because that looks fine to me, but I'm like majorly OCD especially with lines. So I go in, I'll show you first real quick like how you can highlight under your eyebrow. And I'm using the Skin Perfecting Concealer in the shade Organza, which is 2 shades lighter than my base. It's the same color I have under here. And you pick up, it's with any synthetic brush you could use, so like one like this or like synthetic hair. Something flat. This is Younique's cream shadow brush. It's for our cream eyeshadows, but I love it for doing my brows because it's kind of like domed a little bit. But I take the product and I just first apply it right underneath the brow hairline, like so. And then I get right in there. Let me get just a little bit more. And I just clean up. Just perfect it just a little bit more. And then whatever's left over, I bring it down just a little bit. And then finish off the tail. It's super fast. It's just a little extra thing that I do if I have time. Okay, so you're going to have something like that. And then whatever's left over, just take it and bring it down. And that right there is highlighting your eyebrow. See? Super quick and easy. And if you guys would have seen the little dot that I started with, that's the same dot that I use on the other eye. So this is all discoloration. You can either bring that concealer down. What I personally love to do with the rest of the brow here is pick up a Splurge cream eyeshadow. This is matte. It is creamy, but it dries to a matte, soft, powdery finish. I use it all the time, no matter what makeup look I use. And many times I'll just rock this. I'll just put the cream eyeshadow, it dries and sets to a powder, and then I quickly go and put on my mascara and out the door I go. Like, look at that. Isn't that amazing? And it's creamy. I put it on with my ring finger. Like, that's it. So I just wanted to show you guys real quick the eyebrows, the bronzing. If you guys have any questions, comment below or shoot me a message. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.